Okay, so my name's Ron Fitch. I'm the Garrison Commander at Fort Carson, and we took over incident command of the fire that had been out here, part of which had started a little bit yesterday and was dealt with in Hanover, and then we had a fire start this afternoon, or actually late morning, on Fort Carson, and the wind was working against us today, and it moved it over the border of the installation into some of the more rural area over here. At some point earlier this afternoon, the flare-up of the Hanover fire yesterday and then the fire that we had from Fort Carson joined together and then continued to burn, and is still burning this way here this afternoon. The fire is burning more to the east than it is really north and south. It's kind of in a big rectangular area, if you will, a couple hundred meters north-south, and then a little long as it moves towards I-25. But we just took a aerial recon of the fire, if you will, and I don't think it'll reach I-25. We have some pretty good mixture of assets out there between engineering type equipment like bulldozers and graders, and then we're using aviation equipment from the fort, from our aviation brigade, to use our Bambi buckets again to drop water on the fire. And then we've also had some fixed wing assets out here more recently dropping some fire retardant as well to prevent it from growing much further. As well, you can look at the job that was done out here today by all the great cooperation again that we have amongst the two counties and the Fort Carson assets and all the local agencies that are participating. Really did a fantastic job evacuating people as a precautionary member, and then really looking at some of the structure protection that was done here today. You could really see it, how well it was done, that structure protection from the air that we just went up and looked at. We know there were several structures lost. Don't have too many details on the impact of what that was right now, but we're not tracking any loss of life or injury at this time, which is, the thing that we're looking forward to protect the most. And so, pending any questions that you all may have, that was kind of the update I had at this time.
So how was it sparked?
Which one?
The fire that began on Fort Carson.
So we are in the midst of, as most of you are aware, this is a heavy deployment year for Fort Carson. We just recently sent a brigade to Afghanistan. In about another 4 weeks, we're going to send another brigade to Afghanistan, and then we're also preparing for future deployments that we don't have orders yet for, but that we do expect they're going to be coming by summer. And so we're in a continuous training cycle up until those deployments, the soldiers actually leave to go overseas. And so they were out there doing some training today, combined training between some aviation assets and some infantry. And at some point, we had a fire start in the vicinity of that range today.
I was given the information that it could potentially been an M1A2 tank fire. Is that accurate? Do we know?
No, I don't believe so, because where the range was, it was mostly infantry, and they would not be out there with tanks.
So do you guys do the same training regardless of what the conditions are? Or?
So because of the deployment cycle, like it's red flag conditions, currently we're in that high fire danger area. We have to train in order to prepare those soldiers to go in some of those dangerous situations that they're going to encounter in places like mostly Afghanistan for us this year, but we may expect to deploy to some other locations across the globe by summer or fall.
And so those have to be outside then?
They absolutely have to be outside. You have to practice your proficiency on all of your weapons, because those are the things that are going to save your life and the lives of your fellow soldiers, both from our country and then our allies that are over there participating with us in those engagements as well.
Speaking to residents here, they said that they're used to having fires in the area because of Fort Carson, but today you said several structures have been destroyed because of the fire. I mean, it's a red flag day and we're doing this training. We know that this training has to be done, but what about these houses being destroyed and these families that no longer have a home because of it?
Yep, so we'll go back and we're going to take a look at that in conjunction with the county and the state as we look to recoup some of the expenses. But I would also highlight that we did have the fire flare up from yesterday's fire that was down here. And so it's hard to say what really caused the damage to those structures at that time. And that's something that we'll go back to take a look at in conjunction with both Pueblo and El Paso County.
And do you have an estimate right now on size and also containment?
Sure. So we're working hard on containment. I can't give you a percentage right now. And the size that we're tracking is about 2,100 acres.
I'm sorry, what's that?
2,100 acres.
Thank you so much.
Okay?